organization that helped me from the ground up. So I'm back in that position, and like I said, informal spokesperson. Like the songwriter said, what have you done for me lately? Well, in both of these books, there are articles, references to BDPA. The Power of Association, which I have here tonight, there's an entire chapter on BDPA and my experiences growing through the process of being connected to positive individuals and accepting responsibility to chair committees to participate. We have 3 websites, inspirational site. We have links from the inspirational site. In line with my thinking of the Power of Association, I developed a website called webpartners.org. And what I try to do is take particularly minority businesses, but any business and that doesn't have a web presence, and give them the ability to have a web presence, whether it be a page or several pages or an entire site. So it's kind of a MySpace deal, except I don't have naked ladies jumping out, and you don't have advertisements other than your own advertisements. She doesn't allow naked ladies to jump out. On that website, I have what I call the technology page. From the links page and the technology page, you can get to BDPA, local chapter and national. My family website, you know, families are the hardest people to work with. I have an education page there linking to BDPA. So many of the things that I do on a daily basis are trying to promote the closing of the technology gap via BDPA and education, things of that type. In speeches, speak to professional groups, social, educational, civic, and other organizations. BDPA is mentioned. I had the opportunity to address the Australian Shareholders Association 3-4 years ago. At that time, I took the Power of Association. In fact, the way I got the engagement, it happened not to be BDPA, but it was another organization I'm involved in. I sent an email. I said, do we have a chapter? You know, we have a chapter there. Wouldn't you know, in Sydney, the 2 days we were there, they were having their monthly meeting. So I presented to the Australian shareholders and a delegation from China, again, BDPA, along with some other organizations. If you happen to go aboard Royal Caribbean cruise ships, 3 of the ships have the Power of Association there. So we're represented in Australia, we're represented at sea, Atlantic and Pacific. Norman has taken us to Africa. So we've got to do something here. I found out almost by mistake several months ago that the United Nations has this on their recommended reading list. Happens that the particular group that put the that this is connected with is also in Africa. I'm not sure which country. So BDPA definitely has made my growth possible through organizational involvement, through learning by doing, through learning from others, increasing self-confidence, and expanding my connections. I once did I guess you would call it a map, to map myself from the career I was in at the time back to, well, not where it started, not back to my birth, but just back a few years. I became a speaker initially because I was at a BDPA meeting in Chicago, and we went to lunch, and we didn't get back soon enough, and there was a gentleman by the name of Les Brown who was doing a presentation. I was too late to go in the session I signed up for. So I went in, I heard Les, I'm thinking, who was, all I knew was Les Brown, and the band